it be fair to say that we have to provide to others what we would dearly wish to receive ourselves? Let me give an example of that. I often speak about this example because it's so telling. And that is the story of when I was a student in Vienna. There were some young people who had an opportunity to go and play a master class in Jerusalem for a man named Isaac Stern, who eventually became the president of Carnegie Hall, an eminent violinist. And so they practiced for this for 7 months. They practiced a trio of Beethoven for 7 months. The piece lasts 24 minutes. They practiced it for 7 months, probably 6 hours a day. To say the least, they had a shared and unified vision of the piece. So they got there to play for Isaac Stern, and they were all so enormously, well, excited and apprehensive. They played through the piece, went extremely well, better than in any rehearsal. Can you imagine? When it counts, to show up in the Olympics with your best time. So that's what happened. And Isaac Stern said, "Thank you. That was very nice. That's all." And then he said, "I being a violinist," now a trio is violin, cello, and piano. And Isaac Stern said, "Now, I as a violinist, would you mind if I sit in?" Well, I'd be honored if you'd sit in. So he replaced the violinist. So now we have a new element, which in a form which has been set in existence for 7 months. A new element is introduced. And he starts to play with them, and they notice no difference. Beyond the fact that he's playing a Stradivarius violin, which is pretty phenomenal, but in the effect, no difference whatsoever. They feel very comfortable, very confident. Interesting. And then he says, "Do you mind if we go ahead in this piece into the second movement?" And suddenly, they all notice, the person who's sitting out and the two who are playing with him, that they're moving in a totally different direction, but with confidence. You say, how's this possible? 7 months we're going down this road this way, and suddenly we're going here, but totally willingly. How's that possible? And then he says, let's go to the finale. Very challenging. And in the finale, they're going in such a radically different direction that they're just, but with absolute assurance, confidence, passion, willingness, you name it. And so at the end of the exercise, they stop and they say, how is this possible? I mean, we've been playing this piece in one way for 7 months. It's almost become an unconscious competence, you know, we just keep doing it the same way. And now we're going in a totally different direction. How is that possible? This is what he said. When I entered in your midst, I did so with complete neutrality. I imposed nothing. I listened, and fit in. When I had your confidence, then I took you into a whole new direction. In other words, he listened so that to be heard. He followed to lead. He looked to be seen. He understood them so that they would then be understood. So it would be fair to say that if we want to effectively communicate with people, the first thing we have to do is, by any means, listen to them if we want to be listened to. So, what strikes me then is how effective it would be for us to learn a discipline so that we could still and center ourselves at will. Does that sound valuable? And I use this in a program that I have, and this is how we do it, if you'd kindly do this with me. We're going to do a simple meditative exercise, and it's built on two things. One is rhythm, and the other is breath. So the breath, which is the source of our energy, and rhythm, which is phenomenal to our whole experience. Now the rhythm we're going to use is, we'll say, the mean heartbeat, you know, about 1 beat per second. And the way we're going to do that is this. We're going to do a 4-beat square. So it's 4 beats we're going to breathe in, 4 beats we're going to hold, 4 beats out, 4 beats hold. So in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Simple. We're going to breathe in through the nose, silently, and out through the mouth with the lips pursed, like this, a stream of air. So it's in and out. And it looks like this then. I'll have to make it loud so you hear what's going on. It's clear? So, that's how we're going to do it. Let's sit forward on our chair. Soften the face, relax the shoulders. We're going to breathe in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth with lips pursed, and hold. It's always to a count of 4. 4 beats in, 4 beats hold. 4 beats out, 4 beats hold. You kindly close your eyes, soften your face, and we're ready to go. Ready? And in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out through the lips. And in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out with lips pursed, 3, 4. Again, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Become one with your breath. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Become one with the rhythm. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 4, hold, 2, 3. Feel the rhythm pulsing. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3. Thank you. Just in this time, how do you feel? Relaxed. Wonderful. How do you feel? Relaxed, exactly. Now, we are what we repeatedly do. And practice this simple exercise. Practice it often, but only for short bursts of time. We'll say you might practice it, do it 10 times a day, but for a minute. That's not a lot of a day. After a while, with the conditioned reflex, all you have to do is think the pulsing, and you'll be right there. And how critical it is in our leadership that we can find that place of calm, because only in calm can we engender calm. And can we have a great conversation if we're in this kind of a state? Well, just as an example. So, thank you for that. So, yes, we must become that which we wish to attract. You think of a situation where we've all been around small children. Small child gets very upset. Comes in, oh, I want to move away from this neighborhood. I never want to play with these kids again. What's the first thing the parent will say? Just calm down. Because only in a calm state can we receive. So we've got to model that calm state so that we may be heard and that the other may receive and model that behavior. So how critical that would be. I've told this to people who've taken these programs, that I used that actually when I was doing a concert in the Sydney Opera House. And it was the first night, and here's this Carmina Burana with, I don't know, 150 people in the choir, 100 in the orchestra, and the children's choir, and soloists, and whatever else. And I'm set to go to this concert at 10 minutes to 8, 8 o'clock start. And not using any music, and ready to, and so forth. Anyway, the long and the short of it is that 10 minutes to 8, the personnel manager, and I've told this to people with whom I work, came to me and he said, oh, I don't even know if we can begin on time. We can't find the scores for the tenors, and the trumpets haven't shown up. And he just went on and on and on. Meanwhile, 10 minutes later, he left, and I just walked away. No, seriously. And by the fourth click, I was there. It's a conditioned reflex. So use that to practice, to get yourself to that calm state, so that you can engender calm, come from that centered place, and put another into that place where we can and will receive each other. Certainly in any business, we will never go forward unless we see where we're going. I mean, as Da Vinci would say, we have to begin with the end in mind. So our vision is the ultimate. It's attainable, but it's far-reaching. And it keeps us on course, keeps us in focus. Now here's the interesting thing, and how critical that is for leaders, because leaders are being slammed from all sides continually. Is that so? So how do they maintain focus? How do they stay centered? They always return to their values, as any great company would return to its values. Johnson & Johnson, Tylenol. What did they do when that whole thing erupted? Their top value was care and safety for their customers. So what did they do? At huge expense, took the product entirely off the shelves at a huge expense. Doesn't matter. they earned even greater loyalty of their people because they made a decision based on their values. Most recently, the CEO of Maple Leaf Foods did not have someone else speak to the public. He took it. He stood there and spoke. He took all that responsibility. How did he do so? He came right back to his values, the values of his organization, and came from that platform. So leaders especially, anyone, and leadership is not hierarchical. It can be seen in any forum and at any level. Leaders, first of all, are accountable to themselves. They measure their behaviors, their actions against their values, and consistently. And they hold